Okay, we are in Siskiyou County, California, way up in Northern California, and we're hiking the Kelsey Creek Trail today. It's what, February 4th, I think, and this is one of the few trails that you can hike in the winter that I've found in Siskiyou County. Most of the trails are up in the Marble Mountains, Russian Wilderness. They're covered in snow. They don't open up until late April, May. So this is a decent winter trail. And apparently there's a waterfall, which I've never been to, and I'm gonna try to make it there today. Should be about a 10-mile round trip. And we'll see. I don't know how high elevation the waterfall's at. I don't know if it's gonna be covered in snow or not. But we're gonna see how far we can get and see if we can find the waterfall. Now this trail, it goes on all the way to the coast to Crescent City, California, which is close to 100 miles away, I'd say. And it goes straight through some wilderness, the Marble Mountains. So that would be a tough hike. The trail was built in the 1850s, and it was used as a supply line between Fort Jones, which is about 15 miles away from here, and Crescent City. There was an army base in Fort Jones, so this trail was used to carry supplies and goods to the army base in Fort Jones. This trail was also used to transport gold shipments. This is gold country up here in Northern California. I can't imagine. I'm on the easiest part of the trail right now. But yeah, this goes through some pretty wicked terrain. So that'd be one hell of a hike to go all the way out to the coast. There are a few burnt areas that you have to walk through. This is Northern California, so in the summer everything dries out and catches fire. we're starting to get up to some a little more interesting scenery. An old burn over there, but some nice terrain here, pretty steep, some boulders. It's been uphill pretty much all the way so far, so I'm actually keeping pretty warm. I'm thinking about taking my jacket off. It's like mid 40s right now, which is pretty nice for the beginning of February. We're starting to see some snow at elevation up there on the ridge. Got some madrone here. I like these trees. They lose their bark and they get this really smooth appearance, and they keep their green leaves year round. You got a nice cedar up here. They almost resemble redwood, the bark of them. Got a reddish, bright color. And these can get pretty big. That's smaller, average size. What are you doing? You better not go down there. You might not be able to get back up. The creek is flowing good right now. We've had a lot of rain and snow this winter, but yeah, it's flowing good. Definitely don't want to get distracted and take a step off the trail. You'll slide right down to the river. You might survive, but you'll probably have a few broken bones. You can see some springs coming out of the hillside here, feeding into the creek. And this creek runs down into the Scott River, which then empties out into the Klamath, and that'll run all the way to the coast. A nice spot for a quick break here. I've gone almost 2 miles and I'm starting to get pretty warm. I bundled up like it was gonna be below freezing, wore thermals and layers, but it's always nice to have more layers than not enough. So there are some access points down to the creek that you can get to without harming yourself. This moss might be a little slippery. I bet that water is cold. No chance of me getting in. If you're here in the summer, maybe it might be a nice spot to cool off. Let's get back on the trail. Try to find this majestic waterfall. I know nothing about this waterfall other than there's just a waterfall labeled on the map that I'm using. I don't know exactly where it is. I don't know if it's on this trail or if you have to take another trail to get to it. I don't know if it's how big it is, how scenic it is, but it's just something to do here in the middle of the winter when there isn't a whole lot else you can do outside. This is kind of neat here. There must have been a landslide and it took down this tree, or this whole group of trees, and it's making a sort of bridge across the river there. Yeah, you can see the path of the landslide straight down. That would have been a sight to see if you're out here when that thing comes tumbling down the hill. Here's another nice little spring here. Good spot for the dog to get some water. That's a good thing about hiking up here is you don't have to pack extra water for your dog. She can just drink out of the stream or the creek, wherever she can find it. It's kind of cool. A rock embedded in the trunk of a tree here. What are you doing down there? Oh my. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Kind of lost the trail here. It diverged into a couple different paths, and then the one I was on kind of just disappeared, but I think I can see part of it up here. Maybe. It's hard to tell when it's covered in leaves. Yeah, this is definitely the trail. Just took a shortcut. Starting to get a little more steep here. I'm a little out of breath. Okay, now we're back on the main trail. It's a pretty majestic spot right here. Actually a nice spot to take a break. Right, that was a nice refreshing break there. We're over halfway to where the waterfall is marked on the map. And I gotta say, it's turned out to be a nice day. There was a chance of rain, but it looks like that's gonna hold off. It's not too cold, no wind, so you can't complain. Must be getting a little higher elevation. Starting to see a little bit of snowpack on the trail. Nothing too crazy though. Here's where you really want to watch your step. That is a long way down. Hey, careful. And we're officially in the Marble Mountain Wilderness. I don't know what happened to the sign here. Not too far, maybe 2 miles or so for the waterfall. Trying to find the best way across this. Might have to put the camera down. Might need 2 hands. I'm gonna try to step across here. It's not really that far and it's not deep, but I really don't want to get my feet wet. This water is freezing, so I'm gonna build a little bridge here. Okay, I think that should make it a little easier to get across. Getting pretty close to the waterfall, maybe half mile or so. but we're starting to see a little more snowpack. It's looking pretty consistent up here. So I'm hoping I can actually make it there. I'm wearing my New Balances, not snowshoes. They're not insulated or waterproof. I've got an extra pair of socks in case my feet get wet, but other than that, I didn't come prepared for hiking in the snow. We'll see. This is doable. It's not too deep. Okay, taking a quick little snack break here. And we got Ahsoka a little treat. What do you think? Some grilled New York strip with veggies. Oh. Got to keep my dog energized, as well as myself. Oh, that looks good, don't it? What do you think? Look at that. There you go. Well, at least somebody's enjoying the snow. Ahsoka is just having a blast here. It's starting to get pretty, well, decently deep. Deep enough for it to be getting into my shoes. But I'm so close to where the waterfall is marked on the map. I gotta keep going. I can't go this far and just turn around. So we're gonna tough it out. See if I can get across here without getting my feet wet. Here's where you got to be really careful. The trail is completely covered in snow, and I can't tell which part is flat and which part where the incline starts. So you gotta watch your step. Okay, I think we've made it to Maple Falls. Might be kind of hard to see on the GoPro, but it looks like it starts up here and it's a series of waterfalls all the way down. And it looks pretty neat when it's covered in the snow. But I don't know if there's actually a way to get close to the falls. I'm gonna hike up there a little bit and find out. But especially this time of year, if there is a path, it might be covered in snow. Absolutely no one's been hiking this. There's no footprints or anything. But at least we made it to Maple Falls. I'm gonna get up there a little closer and see if we can get a better look at it. This part looks a little tricky here. I want to go over or under. Fucking over. Okay, that works. So we made it to the top of Maple Falls here, and it was pretty much exactly 4 miles from the trailhead. which isn't too bad. Definitely doable in a day. It took me about 2 hours, and I took a couple stops. But you might be able to get closer. The falls are down here and it's hard to see, but the snow starts getting pretty deep up in here. So if you come here in the summer or fall, oh god, you might be able to get a little closer. But as you can see, I'm hurting myself just trying to get down this hill. So it seems like it's more of a series of waterfalls rather than just one. But that's about as close as I'm gonna be able to get without getting my feet soaking wet in the snow or hurting myself. Okay, I'm gonna wander around here a bit, just a bit longer, and then I'm gonna head back. It's about 2:30 right now, and this time of year it gets dark around 5 or 5:30, so I want to make it back before dark. It will start getting cold. Hey, careful, it's so good. Jesus. Gonna give me a heart attack. Okay. Well, yeah, that's about as close as I can get to the falls for now. Jesus. But this is a nice trail to hike in the winter. I would suggest not really going past the snow line unless you got winter boots. Okay, now we start the hike 4 miles back to the car. The good thing about the hike back is it's all downhill, so it should go by a little quicker. I think I picked a good time to turn around and head back to the car. I think a storm might be starting to roll through here. The wind's picking up and starting to spit rain on me a little bit. I think I'm down below the snow line now, but my shoes definitely got wet. My feet are a little wet, so I might have to bust out my reserve pair of socks. But it's not too much farther back to my car, just a couple miles. we're back to this beautiful little spot. And this fall isn't even labeled on the map, but I think this is the highlight of the trail for me. This pretty little spot here. And you know, in the summer when it's dry, there's probably not even water running through here. But if you come out here in the spring or the winter, like me, you get to see a nice little waterfall here.